Nick, Wild Web, Heavyweight, 11-0, 9 knockouts. Subscribe to Sporting Icon for your latest boxing news. Come!
Okay, so Daniel Dubois, he took on Kevin Kingpin Johnson in Daniel Dubois' 9th pro fight. And the way that the fight started, I thought that Daniel Dubois was going to get him out of there in the very first few seconds of the very first round. And Kevin Johnson looked like he just didn't want to be there, and shocked, to be honest. He looked absolutely shocked that Daniel Dubois hits that hard. And I thought, right, okay, this is going to be a real early night. But this was part of the game plan by Kevin Johnson. It was a risky game plan, especially against a big puncher like Dubois. But to be honest with you, it worked. It really did work. And it went the distance. Daniel Dubois, unanimous decision, quite comfortably. I mean, I haven't even seen the result yet. We're still waiting for it now. But listen, I know who won this one. It's very obvious who won this one. And he won all 10 rounds, Daniel Dubois, and some very important points in this one as well. So not only has he gone the distance for the very first time, in fact, he's never been past round 5 before. So he doubled that. And now Kevin Johnson is very durable. He's a journeyman for sure. And he's not one of those guys who comes to lay down. He does come to fight, and he comes to survive. And so Anthony Joshua knocked out Kevin Johnson in 2 rounds before. Daniel Dubois just went distance with him. That's no great reflection. Okay, so Daniel Dubois, he's only just turned 21, only a couple of weeks back there. So still very young, learning for sure. But he dominated him, and round number 4, I thought, hang on a minute, Dubois looking a little bit tired here. But round about round 5, round 6, he started to get his second win back and didn't really look too much gassing. Not really. So his youth is certainly on his side, no doubt about it, and he's got a very good engine on him. So at least now we can cross that off the list. What's his engine like? It's pretty good. But there again, it's good when he's just the one throwing punches, because in the very first round, Kevin Johnson threw 1 punch that I noticed, which was a jab. That was it. Round number 2, he threw 2 jabs and a right hand. So from this moment, you could see exactly what Kevin Johnson's game plan was, and I thought, this ain't going to work. It really isn't going to work. Daniel Dubois is going to catch him at some point, but Kevin Johnson's been around the block several times now and knew how to parry the shots, how to get hit but not get hit flush, so he can just keep on going. So I mean, I am disappointed that Dubois didn't stop him, but on the flip side of that, I'm glad he went the distance. Well, I'm glad he got a lot of rounds in. That's pretty much what I'm trying to say. I would have loved a knockout, but late rounds. Now, I did say to you guys beforehand in the pre-fight predictions that I thought that Dubois may get him out of there in round number 5 or number 6. And I expected Kevin Johnson to throw a lot more punches than what he did, which wouldn't have been difficult, to be fair. I think that very tough man, Kevin Johnson. Very tough. So I don't want to take anything away from Daniel Dubois in this one too much. I could be highly critical of this performance, and I know a lot of people are now going to look at him thinking, well, maybe he's a hype job. Maybe he's not as good as what we thought. But you see, I know ever since Daniel Dubois' first or second fight, people have been saying, well, he can take out Joshua right now. He can do this, he can do that. And I said to you, no, he can't. He cannot. He may be able to hurt these guys if he hits them flush, but ultimately, no. He's still learning. He was pulled out of the amateurs way too early for my liking, and every fight is a learning fight for him. And I don't like saying that about pro fighters, because unless you have a legitimate reason why you left the amateurs, your learning career, then when you hit the pros, we expect. Okay? So Dubois, 9 fights in, he is learning, but he's not going to get everybody out of there. And he got tagged with a very good right. I think it was round number 6. It was pretty flush, right on the button, right on the chin from Kevin Johnson, and it didn't bother him, to be honest, or at least that's how it looked. But it's hard to forget that Daniel Dubois has only just turned 21. So, you know what? He looked good, he looked dominant, and I'm happy that he got all those rounds under the belt. He didn't look like he was gassing too much. At times, he looked a bit tired, and I could see him where most young men will just go in there and just start swinging. He composed himself enough to say, listen, I need to start conserving a bit of energy. And this kind of happened, as I said, around about round 4. And that was very, very good of him. Of course, his coach would have told him that in the corner. And that's exactly what he done. He took his foot off the gas a little bit, and he would only release the big right hand when he felt confident of hitting Johnson. But he was pretty good behind the jab. And yeah, his footwork is improving. I can say improving. He is a bit wooden at times, but he's going to be for a big lad. He's not going to be that bouncy, but for a young man, I think he should be a bit more bouncy than what he is. I think that's probably fair to say. But you know what, no matter what, it was a good, dominant performance. I'm glad that he won. He was supposed to win. Kevin Johnson was never, ever going to win. I don't think Kevin Johnson came to win, to be honest. I don't think he even attempted to knock out down Dubois. So Kevin Johnson got his money's worth. He got paid well, and he earned every penny of it to just soak up the shots. And it shows that down Dubois is not the Terminator. He's not the big, lumping guy that people think that he is at times. He will be, but he's learning to box, and that's what I want. One punch power, I don't care about it, because eventually those who just have power, eventually you get clipped back and you lose. So I'm glad that Dan Dubois is boxing, and I'm glad he's being a bit smart. So yeah, I'm surprised that it went 10 rounds, and I know there's going to be a lot of people very, very disappointed, very critical, and I don't know, rightly so, I suppose, in some ways. But as I said, Johnson, he's only ever been stopped twice. One of them was by Joshua, and I know people keep comparing Dan Dubois to Anthony Joshua. Listen, they're two different people. Age gap is several years. There's no point whatsoever in comparing. So anyway, congratulations to Dan Dubois. He's now 9-0. He's gone the distance. Congratulations to him. Drop your thoughts below, click that thumbs up and subscribe. Catch you all on the next video.